Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the They Lima Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive oracle cards, the Magical Spell Oracle cards by Lucy Cavendish. I already shuffled relationship first, single second. Let's see what we got for you. Alright. Okay. Oh boy. This might be a rough one, just to be fair. Alright, now I feel like this is kind of where we're starting. Let's see what we're talking about. Where you're standing is the wheel turning. Where your partner is standing is the Temperance card, just trying to wait out the situation. I am getting the wheel, especially what I'm seeing here down in, it's not turning well. It's turning in a bad way. It's turning in a negative direction. Whatever the two of you are dealing with, the wheel, you're standing in a spot where luck has gone sour at the moment. And the Temperance on your partner's side is they're just trying to wait it out. Now, I feel like when I see this combination here, you got the Ten of Swords with the Prosperity here. I feel like you're very devastated about what's going on with the situation. Yeah, I feel like on the outside, it may not look that bad. Prosperity is telling me, like, I feel like you're on the outside, it looks good. But you know something that other people don't, most people don't, and I feel like you're not happy with the situation at all. Something is going really wrong here. And I'm getting, your partner's reaction to this is the Seven of Wands. They're just trying to keep it together. They're not budging. If they're having a contrary opinion to you, it feels like they might be. I know it's a general read. So the energy is just a little like in and out here with your partner's side. They're holding the line. Whatever they're feeling or believing, they're holding the line. They're not really, they're just defending how they feel. That's, I feel like, whether they agree with you or not, quite frankly, they're just defending how they feel. And they're not budging on that. And I feel like it's almost like, even if they feel the way you do, they're making it more about, like, this is how I feel. And it's not because you feel this way, I feel this way. This is just truly how I feel. So it's kind of like, it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel cohesive. It doesn't feel like you're together on this. Even if they agree with you, it feels like they're standing on their own anyway. Now, whatever the situation is, I'm also getting you with your challenge card of the Queen of Swords. I feel like this is a double-edged sword in this sense. You're trying not to make things worse, but you're also trying not to be just a passive bystander. And I feel like by trying to juggle the two, not being a bystander but not making it worse, and just trying to handle that, I just feel like this is the challenge card, because that's really difficult. Because a lot of times I feel like it's better for you to hold your tongue to not make it worse, but you're kind of like, well, if I don't say something though, then this situation could go worse altogether. So you have to say something, but then it seems like it just kind of works against you. The reason this is a challenge card is because this is not easy. This is no easy feat. This has taken a lot of brain power, and I feel like there's a lot of missteps, but it's really hard not to. Because you have to be engaged in it, and I feel like every step is a hard step. But it also feels like you have no choice. You just like, I can't just bow out of this. It's difficult. The challenge card is to find a way. It's hard to find a way. Like, I'm like, what are you supposed to do with this? Because you can't be silent, but I feel like the way things are coming off, I feel like you're getting a lot of adversity coming at you at the same time. And I almost feel like it's just kind of like letting it roll off your back. Just like when things kind of go the wrong way, just letting it roll off your back and just, all right, this didn't work, let's pick it back up and just try something else. I just feel like it's the stamina on this one. This feels rough. This feels very rough. It does not feel like a fun card. It just feels like, I just feel like it's a Catch-22 card. I feel like the only thing this can actually offer you in this reading is to let you know it's going to be rough. It's going to kind of keep jacking back on you. So just go forward very softly, very carefully, and hopefully when it jacks back, it just doesn't have too much force on you. Be expecting it to jack back on you, so you can be prepared to, you know, protect yourself. Okay. Your partner, their challenge card is the Hierophant with the Home Safe Protection. They're really dug into this. They really are fortified. This is where they stand. This is the right thing to do. This is how it's been. This is how it should be. They got home safe protection here. They feel like to make things work out, they feel like they're in the right to do this. They need to hold the line. This is how I feel. This is where I need to stay. I will not let this line be crossed. They got a lot of energy here, but the home safe protection is saying they really feel like this is the right thing for the relationship. For them to be safe in this relationship, they feel like they need to hold that line. They cannot back down. They cannot back down. That's how they feel. They cannot back down. That's their challenge card. Because they feel like for them, they need to realize that this home safe protection is not just on their side. It's between the two of you. You're definitely feeling that too. It's like they're pulling it over towards them, like they're the ones holding it together. And the challenge for them is to realize that you're a part of this. You're not separate. You're together. This needs to be a cohesive effort. They're having a hard time with that. They're holding the line, and they're just like, I'm not backing off. Now, I feel like this goes on for a while, the way it's going here. And I get, like, your partner, even though they're holding that line, they got the Three of Swords. They're very heartbroken that they feel like they have to do this, but they literally feel like they have to do this. But they're very upset about it. It's kind of like they feel like they have to, but every step forward is breaking their heart that they're doing this, but they feel like they have no choice. That's pretty deep on that one. And I'm getting like, this is not feeling good to them. They don't like holding that line. They feel like they have to. What makes things better is they need to be a little more giving, and they need to step outside of the situation and see it from a third-party perspective. I feel like just you backing off and giving them a chance to breathe, that's the only way this is going to happen, because I feel like every time they come towards you, it just causes more conflict. I just feel like they're fighting it. I just feel like they're working with you. It doesn't feel cohesive right now. But I'm getting like, once they step back and they become a little more giving, they see it from a third-party perspective, this is where harvest starts to come in, because they start to get the idea that, you know what they're doing now is not working, and they have to choose a different direction to get a positive energy, to get a positive outcome, to get things going in a more positive direction. And it's that third party perspective, and it seems like once they have a moment to step back and feel that, they realize they have to be more giving to get that harvest. They have to be more giving to get this to work out the way it needs to get this situation to move on and actually correct. Now, when they end up in that mindset, I feel like this has become quite the situation at this point. And I know this will not hit for everybody, but for those of you who it does, it takes a lot of strength for your partner to kind of like eat crow on this one, because I feel like they've been a little bit stubborn, and I feel like they're like coming together with themselves, you know. And they want this to fix. They love you. They do love you. And they want this situation to correct. It's taking a lot for them to come towards you, but they're coming towards you with love. The romance card is telling me they love you. They're coming forward at that angle. They want to work this out. They're ready to finally talk it out. And they're coming forward. It takes a lot of strength for them to do that. They're coming forward toward you with love. I'm going to be honest with you. When I'm feeling you're ticked. At this point, you are really mad. You got the Devil card on your side. When this happens, you're not in the right headspace for this. You're not in the mood for love. You're not feeling that love come towards you. I feel like you've gotten pretty annoyed with the situation, and you're pretty worked up about it, to be honest. I feel like you're pretty honest with yourself. I feel like you know this. Like, I feel like if you just realize that they're actually coming forward towards you with honest love, that might make a difference. Because I feel like if you don't realize that, when they come towards you with this, you're just not seeing them in a positive light at all. You're just not happy. What I'm getting from this, Spiritually, you got the Seven of Pentacles. You're mad. It's just not the time. It's just not the time. If you can find a way to push this off and just tell them, you know what, I'll talk to you, but I can't do it right now. Just shut down the conversation and be like, I'm not against it, but I'm not ready for it. Just shut it down and just walk away from it is what I'm getting. Because it's just, the Seven of Pentacles is telling me you're just, spiritually, you're just not ready. There's a lot built up here. When they finally come towards you, your engine's really going. You're really ticked. So what's best for you, I feel, is just shut it down. I'm not ready to talk about it. I will be at some point, but I'll tell you when. And just kind of like shut it down and walk away from it. Because it's just not the time is what I'm getting. Because what I feel makes things better for you is for you to step back, breathe on your own, and just have that personal contemplation time, the Four of Swords here, to just really put this in perspective. What do you want? What do they want? Do you want this to work out? What is it going to take for it to work out? What is it going to take for that to happen? And I feel like it's just kind of like you have to slowly bring yourself down so that you're really, like, you have to really think about it and just calm yourself down a bit about it and be ready to negotiate. Because if you're not, you may try to force yourself to negotiate, but those little barbed knives will fly out every now and then without you realizing it. And just, you'll be beating your partner verbally every now and then, not wanting to, just that anger will just seep out every now and then. If you just step back and cool down and just think it out for yourself, what do you want from the situation? What would it take for you for this to be calm and back to where it should be? Then approach after. This will work out much more in your favor. Are we good? Good. All right, we got through that part. Let's get into Aquarian singles. Whew. Sometimes the readings, you know, they're a little harsh. It's true. And I'm definitely one of those that, you know, you got to say what's coming out. Like, it's the whole part. That's the whole point of the reading. Not to just, you know, give you sugar and sun drops, you know. Just to give whatever's coming through. Just got to say how it is, and that's how it's coming through. I hope it comes through with a grain of sugar, but you know what I mean. I don't want it to come forward completely harsh, but the truth needs to come out. That's for sure. All right, let's see. What do we have for single Aquarians? What do we have for single Aquarians? Empowering information for single Aquarians to show them the truth of what's happening and show them what they can do to get what they want out of the situation. This might go well. I'm not really sure just yet. Gotta be honest with you. 2, 1, 2, 1, and done. Okay. Alright, I don't feel this is bad at the end. I'm getting something about a slight misstep, but we'll get to that when we do. Now, something's moving very slowly here. Something's moving very slowly. I'm getting the Queen of Pentacles in the past, and I'm getting the Knight of Pentacles at the top here. Very slow-moving situation. Somebody that's warming up to you very slowly. But I do feel like this is going well. I do feel like you see the Six of Wands. It does feel like it's going your way. Like that's your perception of it. This is in your thoughts. This is the card that's in your thoughts, and I feel like that's good. It looks like it's slowly going your way. It's taking some time. I see this card seems to be representing you, and don't get caught up in the gender in any of these cards, of course, general read. But what I'm getting here, you're keeping your emotions to yourself a little bit. Like you're responsive, you're accommodating when necessary, but you're keeping it together. You're feeling a lot for this person is what I'm getting. Your heart is full of love for this person. But you're keeping it together. You're not overwhelming them with that. You're realizing they're a slow mover. And you're also realizing if you flood them with how you really feel, that could get them to run the other direction. So you're not doing that. You're very smart about it. But you definitely have a lot of love here. Now, what's currently coming in the center is the Seven of Cups with the Page of Swords. You're getting a lot of ideas about things you would like to do in the future. And I almost feel like you might be talking over with this person some maybe ideas of like maybe things you could do together, some things you could enjoy together, like what type of interest do you have, talking about what interests they have. It seems like there's a good conversation, to tell you the truth. It seems lighthearted. What interests them, what interests you, where do you match? For example, if you like camping, you're like throwing it out there. Would you be interested maybe if we hung out on a weekend and just kind of camped together? Would it be, if we did that, would you be more comfortable in separate tents or separate accommodations, whatever that may be for you? Like, you're talking things out, you're negotiating. Whatever's comfortable for them, so be it. So be it. And I'm getting the Page of Swords with this, is that's kind of your energy. You're passively putting out information, passively kind of getting in questions, but you're just making it a nonchalant, no big deal. If you're not into it, that's fine. Just seeing where you stand, that's all. It's very, very calm. And the Page of Swords, I like this because it's very, like, you are putting questions out there, but you're not making them that big a deal. You're just making it very smooth. If they say that's not something they like, oh, that's cool. You know what I mean? Not a big deal, but you're absorbing a lot of information here. You are definitely absorbing a lot of information. I like this conversation. I feel like this is very smart. This is really good. You're getting a lot of truth, a lot of honesty here. You see where this person is going. Now, is it from this or that? It's like somewhere between this conversation and where you're going in the future, which is the Ten of Pentacles, because I feel like this is getting the situation seems to become a lot more secure. They definitely seem to be going your direction, and like, it's like you're seeing more of them as something along those lines. You're feeling like there's more of an investment here. They're more engaged with you. You're feeling like this is going up a level. Somewhere between these two, that conversation and that moment, I'm getting like this person is telling you that they can see a future with you. And I do see that they are open to a romance with you. I'm just feeling like you might feel like this has gone farther ahead than this person really is. You might think they're ready for whatever the next level is. I'm getting that they're not. Because especially with the Ten of Pentacles, you're feeling like this is locking in. It may not be going that fast at the moment, but you're feeling like still, to you it feels like a sure thing. And that it's heading in that direction quite dependably. And I feel like the end of this is just, it's not bad, but I feel like if you see it coming, you maybe can circumvent it a little bit. Because I feel like what happens from that moment, the Ace of Swords comes out and you tell your truth about how you're feeling. You might be a little bit more truthful than they're ready for. Because what I'm getting here is the Nine of Swords, which is kind of like a little bit of regret or embarrassment, with safe home protection and magical powers. Now, I'm feeling like you're putting yourself out there a little bit, but it's the other person's not reciprocating it at this time. They're just not ready at this time. I'm getting you just got a little bit, well, whatever they said, you felt they meant this, and maybe they did, but they weren't ready to go to that level of the relationship yet. So they're kind of like recalling. It's like a recall, or recoiling a little bit. Recoiling, I think that's better. So I'm feeling like you're putting yourself out there and you're regretting it because the other person's not reciprocating. It's kind of like one of those times where somebody says, I love you, and the other person does not. One of those things. So what I'm getting is when that happens, you feel regret, you're a little embarrassed, it's not a good moment. But I'm getting home safe protection and the magical powers. Home safe protection is telling me this relationship can still happen. Don't give up on it. It's still going in a good direction. This person is just not ready yet. So keep going. I feel like if you just keep going and just make it a non-issue, just keep going and just ignore that it happened if you can. Unless they bring it up, just don't bring it up again for a while. Or at least next time it comes up, let them be the ones who bring it up. That type of thing. Home safe protection is telling me it's still viable here. Still going well. The magical powers is kind of like the magician card. Like, still keep it going. Keep your energy invested here. Keep going towards the future you want. All you got to do is adjust your rate. Adjust your speed. Keep going for what you want. Keep trying to make what you want happen. Just all you have to do is adjust your rate. Adjust your speed. Adjust how fast you're going. That's it. Because it feels like this can still happen for you. And I think that's what we're ending with. Yep. That's the last of the cards. All right. So I'm going to wrap that up there. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.